Let's keep dancing wild and free, spinning in the waves like a mystery. Funky moves that make you smile. Stay for a while. Let's go wild.
Good vibes only, no more stress. Like mystic cruise, we must confess. Fun and laughter through the night. Everything's just feeling right.
Seeing double, is this a dream? Funhouse mirror, or so it seems. Giggles echo through the trees. Booty shaking with the breeze. Dive on in, the water's fine.
Open your mouth so I can spit in it, you dirty slut.
Join the party, feel the heat. Rock mystic groove, can't be beat. Mystic spirit, come alive. Wild and funny, good vibes thrive.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Can't be caught in this dance, we all are taught. Let's keep dancing wild and free, spinning in the waves like a mystery, like a mystery. Funky moves that make you smile. Stay for a while. Let's go wild.
Good vibes only, no more stress. Like mystic cruise, we must confess. Fun and laughter through the night. Everything's just feeling right.
Seeing double, is this a dream? Funhouse mirror, or so it seems. Giggles echo through the trees. Booty shaking with the breeze. Dive on in, the water's fine. Leaving all your cares behind. Join the party, feel the heat like Misty Groove. Can't be beat.
Women call me the super soaker, and I'ma soak your bed to death. How long can you hold your breath? Asthma attacking.
Leaving all your cares behind. Join the party, feel the heat like Misty Groove. Can't be beat. Spirit come alive, wild and funny, good vibes thrive. Laughter echo can't be caught. In this dance we all are taught. 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 Big booty, cute face. In the club, moving with grace. Everyone's feeling the bass. Catch the vibe taking over the place. Lights flashing all around. DJ's beat got us lost, not found. Feel the rhythm, let it pound. Dance floor shaking with the sound. Like Nessie, big booty, oh yeah. Cutest face got us in a daze. Every move makes the crowd cheer. Tonight we're lost in the craze.
Good morning, good evening, good day. What's happening? What's up? We're getting fired up. Happy Monday. I have apples. That's what I was doing. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Yes, it's sitting over there. It is sitting over there because I have no room to
Hey, how you doing?
Jazzy was the ultimate first. She snuck in here, yelled at me, but it's okay because I love her. Blake got first, Chetty got first, second. Tazzy got first, third, let's go. Chetty, hello, how are you? Punisher first, fourth.
Glitter.
You guys can't separate it like that. I get confused. Good morning. Happy Monday. Tazzy, how was your stream?
Hi, sweetheart. Hello. You? Yeah.
Thank
Cute.
you for the follow. Welcome in. It's Mooning Monday. I'm just kidding. Don't moon anyone. You might get arrested for that.
Women call me the super soaker. And
But thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. And if not, hopefully in the words of Baby Red the Boot, you make it a little bit better for you.
asthma attacking.
I woke up with like 10 minutes to spare, and I'm still late. It's wild. The world is flat, then maybe dinosaurs live on the other side, and we just keep digging up their loved ones. Oh. Let's just keep them in the ground. let them rest peacefully. Good morning. I'm debating on eating the calzone in my fridge for breakfast, or make Taylor ham. Well, what kind of calzone is it? It's only too much food if you're a bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Pepperoni. It's easier to just heat that up. Just eat the calzone. Get it on your fridge. Glitter. Thank you guys again for the desk. I will put it together. I just have to figure out what I'm doing with the rest of the desks, because I have this desk, and then I have a really old desk right here, which is thick. So I don't know. And I'm thinking about maybe still keeping this desk and putting it at an angle. Eventually I'll give the desk away, but I really need help with that. No, because I'm stubborn and I'm gonna do it by myself. And I watched some person on the Amazon reviews put it together themselves. So if they can do it, clearly I can do it. Because all that sounds fucking heavy. I got it. It's fine. I moved everything in my room. Good morning, Crimson. How are you? Mr. Wise, how are we? Oh my god. When did I say that? Don't throw your back out. Alright, old man. Just kidding. I literally lifted my desk by using my back. I'll be alright. Crimson, you're supposed to swallow the Dr. Pepper, not choke on it. How was your sleepy sleep? How was everyone's sleepy sleep? How was your weekend? What did we do? What are we up to? You don't do that? Too late, I already did. Just to calm my brain. That's fair. But. Take a warm shower. So, apparently.
Inevitable.
I've been doing this thing where I've been looking up random facts. I also, as I woke up, was wanting to look this up before I started, but then I realized I was running late. I'm trying to learn new things, right? because trying to figure out audio is just something I'm not ready to take on yet. But I wanted to look up what creates the eye crusties in your eye, because sometimes they're crusty and sometimes they're like the little squishy part in the corner and it's a little more gross looking. That's what I was thinking about. But I learned that it's better to take a shower before going to bed than when you wake up for your circulatory system. So do with that what you will. But if you're like me, you sweat like a bitch in your sleep. So it's not always plausible. Hydrophobia. Showers are sending me into a panic attack. Wait, is that a water thing? You shower before bed? See, I have to be careful because if I shower before bed and it's like I'm sweating really bad, my hair's greasy all over again, and then I have to shower or wash my hair in the morning. It's like a catch-22. Me body said, hell yeah, let's go. Proud of you. Fun fact. What is vintage? Vintage items are younger than antiques. Are actually typically defined as being 20 years or less. 20 years old, but less than 100. I don't think humans can be vintage, though. Can we? Can we? Did a weird thing with sleeping. Went to nap at like 8:30-ish. Woke up a couple times. Feel pretty good. What's that like? I just kept waking up. I kept waking up. I kept refreshing Tazzie's stream to make sure it counted me in there. And then I went back to bed. See, I've tried that Tazzy. And I can't. I don't like dry shampoo. It creeps me out. Queen, hello. It's been so long. I missed your face. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, 10 Pins. How are you doing? How you feeling? I've been hiding. I haven't been streaming. I've just been offline. Freaks you out? Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm not clean. You know? Like, I've tried dry shampoo and I still feel greasy. And then my face feels gross because my head feels gross. I feel bonita. Do you feel bonita? Because you look bonita. Wonderful. Sorry, I had this for my apple. I didn't want to bite into it. You want an apple too, buddy? Callie, good morning. How are we? Yeah, see, it makes me want to punch her. Respectfully. I feel like she can do no wrong because she just looks fantastic all the time. It's really annoying. Really annoying. I love you, but it's really annoying. As a preventative, if you're using it after your grease ball, it's too late. Oh. Bald and solve the problem. I have a weird shaped head. I don't think I would look good bald. But the next charity stream that we do, if we reach the goal, which is not going to be an easy goal to reach, I will be shaving all of my head. Restarting. Because my hair does need a fresh restart. Like, and I know realistically, we shave Jesse, don't you touch that man's head. Don't you touch that man's head. I will hurt you. I'd be okay if he shaved his head, but don't touch it because I need to play with his hair one more time. What? Jazzy, what? Yeah, but I also don't want to pay to go see someone. And I've always wanted to do it. Ooh, I'll shave your head, Callie. We shave Charity instead for punishment. His hair's already short, though. And if Jace's hair was still long, I'd be like, oh, we'll do Jace. But Jace's hair is short again. Clinical fear water, so little. Wait, so you don't drink water either? Now I want an apple. Here, I have one bite left. Open up. Oh, Jace, look, you're here. So you heard that, huh? Make sure Randy said, oh, wait. Yeah. I was going to try and throw a pink eye joke in there, but I don't think it'd work. I mean, I shaved half my head. Might as well shave it all at some point. I'm going to touch more than I said. Oh my God. Please don't touch my man. David, you're about to release this whole new side of me that's going to, like, all of a sudden no judo chopping, and your ass is going to be on the ground. I'm just letting you know that now. You know how they have those videos of the little people that jump on top of the back of someone and they choke them out, and then they pass out on the ground? That's going to be you. Just phobic.
Do the job for you, sir. I'd give her a ha, then a hi-ya, and then a
I'm growing my hair on again.
And I'd kick her, sir.
Ooh. Are you like battling me because I cut my hair? Aw, look, you guys are cute. One cuts their hair. Honestly, Jace had some pretty long hair. For those of you who don't know. Well, no, you look weird bald until you do it. No, I know that I look weird. I had a half-shaved head several times throughout my life. I know the shape of the back of my head. It's fucking weird. I also have a smaller head. So it's going to be real noticeable when I don't have hair to cover it and make it look bigger, you know? I'm just saying. When you say pretty long, did you mean titty length? I don't think it was titty length. I think his hair was like shoulder length, but it was long for a guy. I don't know, maybe. Jace? What say you? Listen, not many people can rock a man bun. That's all I'm saying. Some people could. And that's going to have a marble head. You a bitch. Good morning. I was waiting for the light to turn on. Was past shoulder length? I don't know. I didn't study your hair, I'll be honest. So for a guy, long. Guys, yeah, long for guy standards. My dad used to have really long hair. I used to braid it. But now it's like short. That's a valid response. I mean, I'm trying to kiss the homie. Good night. That's crazy. Hey, that's up to him. If he lets you, that's on him. You know? It's not gay if it's the homies, I guess. That's... Oh, was that not an accurate statement? So we're making the face. I have short for girl standards. Short to me is like pixie cut. Yo, true. Hi, Tosh. Oh, did you see I played the Valorant, the game where you stand still and shoot people and do really bad? That's I did it. I didn't add you yet because I haven't loaded the game back up. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of scared to load it back up. So. Hi, Jace.
Hello.
Hello. You know what? That's an accurate statement for her to make. Mine's like masked lesbian short, like very short. Yeah, that's valid. I'm gonna make a week where I just rep the merch that I have, so I need more people's merch because I've got Jace. I think I have Tazzy. I'm wearing Marky's. I know I have Charity. I have a lot of Charity. I have Tim.
Hi, I'm Paul.
FOTF. I have Snow Baby. I think that's it. No, I do have a technically it's a twofer because it's a limited edition Ollie mug, but it has Deb's face on it. And that's back there. Do. Comical online. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, also on the sleeves it says shh and see you later. See you later. So naturally, I had to buy it. My King of Sydney dude. I was going through all my hoodies and I was like, well, I wore the one for Jace the other day. So let me pick a different one. And I was like, well, I'm going to wear my hat because my hair's gross and disgusting. It wasn't a bun. It was a very messy bun. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't do that for stream. So I put it down and I put it in a, in a hat. Chances are if I'm wearing my hat and it's backwards, because I don't wear hats forward, I look weird with them, my hair is greasy. And it's gross. So we cover it in a hat.
I see.
He moved, so I don't know anymore. I used to have his time down, and then time change happened. I had apples. Let's go.
It is 10:30.
He is 10:30 p.m. What kind of apples do you have, Tazzy? Mine were golden crisp apples, I think. Methinks. My thanks. A reminder for the week ahead. You're amazing. You can do amazing things. You're capable and strong, resilient and brave. You are awfully clever. I was like, awful? That's... I'm just kidding.
I know I am. Thank you.
I was like, he's saying all these nice things. And he's like, haha, you're awful. Just kidding. You're awfully clever when you put your mind to work. So do it. Do it. Put your mind to work. Figure it out. Whatever it is. Be the person who does what they... No. Be the person who goes after what they want. I'm just putting words in your sentences now. You got this. I know you do. Shut up, Chase. Hold your head up high. You are magic. You're a wizard, Harry. Hi.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. You are worthy of the wildest dreams, most reckless dreams. Take control of the narrative. Grab your narrative by the balls and squeeze. I'm learning that. Go after what sets your soul on fire. Morning. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the
Pay me $1 million.
No.
Oh, well, I tried.
I don't even have $1 million. That's crazy.
I'll take whatever you'll give me. I'm not picky.
I have $2. That's it.
That's fine. I'll just take one. That way you still have one.
Well, then I have an uneven amount of dollars, and I don't like uneven numbers, so not gonna happen. There's one uneven number that I like, and it's not one.
Okay. So I'll give you $3. Then you'll have 5, and then you'll have to give me 3 back.
Okay.
And you'll have 2 again.
We can do that. Honeycrisp are the best. Fuck yeah. What
Your sense good right now.
What was I going in here for? Oh, right. The things that I keep forgetting to do. Yo, working yesterday threw my schedule way off.
Welcome to my life. I work every Sunday.
Good morning, Midnight. How are you? How you doing? How you feeling? Happy Monday. Oh, I got so upset that the lurk bait game was my top game, so I'm not playing it at all this year. Sorry. It genuinely upset me. I was like, I know I played Peak more than this fucking game. Where is it? Found it. Got it. We got it. You've been with us for a year, 11 months, 16 days, and 1 hour. And you still come back? Are you crazy? Are you feeling okay? Are you doing all right? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And you're walking on me? I don't think so. You're getting your wishes. So sit down. The exits are here,
Hey,
everywhere.
I'm,
Keep
I'm
hands
getting
and feet.
close to 2 years.
Huh?
Yeah, suck it, Jace.
Little blueberry yogurt. You lost me at the blueberry and the yogurt. Actually, I'm trying to train my taste bugs to to like cottage cheese by putting salsa in it because I hate cottage cheese. And I'm trying to be better. Minus the fact that I had Taco Bell the other day. And I did tell Peanut that he's the reason why I got a Big Mac. But I'm back on track. That threw me for a loop. I was craving it. I had it. And then I was like, well, fuck, I already broke it. So, well, no, I don't like yogurt either. So, like, I'm very particular with yogurt.
Cheese is terrible.
What are you doing, crackhead? Calm down. Can I have some advice on a situation, man? Yeah, sure. What's up? I can't promise I give good advice, but I will give you my most educated advice that I possibly can. Also to go back up because I missed everybody's follow age. Chatty's been 1 year, 3 months. Wait, did I already read that? No, 16 days and 14 hours or 4 hours. What the fuck, birds? Gazpacho, 1 year, 5 months. Have you guys really been here that long?
Yes.
Kelly's been with us for 1 year, 11 months, 20 days, and 8 hours. Nope. Callie, 1 year, 6 months, 24 days, 1 hour. Jace has been watching for 2 months, 19 days, and 10 hours. Queen, good morning, sneaking in here. I see you. Has been with us for 1 year, 6 months, 28 days, and 20 hours. Jace has been with us for 2 years, 8 months, 16 days, and 22 hours. Punisher, where was yours?
Almost up. It's up there. It's,
Oh, I see it.
Underneath Chatty's, I think.
1 year, 11 months, 20 days, and 8 hours. Shut up.
I'm almost at 2 years already. Holy fuck.
Okay. Okay, so I have. Are you okay that well, obviously, if you put it in chat, you're okay with me answering on stream. So, I have a friend who I was just playing. Hi, Charity. Who I was playing Fortnite with, and they kept saying "gay" as an insult to other players, which was very uncomfortable and upset because I'm gay. I have several neutral friends with this person, so I don't want to ruin the friendship by saying something that really upset me. Honestly. Honestly, sorry, that was a weird segue there. You're my entertainment because funny. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime doll. That work? Was that entertainment enough? I'm going to tell you this in a this is how I'm taking on 2026 type way. I'm uncomfortable. Me too. It's okay. you're not going to please everybody, but you also have to set boundaries. And if people can't respect those boundaries, they don't have a place in your life. You know, so I think, you know, a lot of us don't want to say bye or cause conflict, but there shouldn't have to be conflict if they're actually a friend or if they're a decent human being and can just say, oh, okay, that upsets you, I won't do that anymore. I think don't make a public announcement to them. I would pull them aside and have that conversation and just be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I know you weren't saying it towards me. However, using the term gay the way that you were was kind of upsetting me. Is there a way that when I'm around you just can't, or you don't, or you change the way that you maybe replace the word? I don't think there's anything wrong with asking that. Just know if you do, the answer can go 50-50. And how they respond tells you what kind of person they are. You know, I used to always say people were too emotional, but then I took a step back and I kind of reevaluated it where, yeah, sometimes things we might take personal, but in other aspects, why are we also invalidating our feelings? If something bothers you, it bothers you. Make sure people know that it bothers you in a friendly, professional way without, making it a huge thing. So I think just pulling them aside and saying something to them would be perfectly fine. Now, if you were in the friend group and you guys were all in like a VC or something and everybody was there and you said something, I would avoid doing that. Because that kind of singles someone out, but it also puts you on a target to potentially get everybody talking to you at once. I've done that a couple times in the past, where I've said something in a VC where I genuinely thought I could feel safe. And I had everyone come at me sideways and I was like, okay, well, that's good to know. So just know that the answer might not be the answer that you want. And then you can decide from there what you want to do with it. But I would ask something. I would ask them to maybe not do it. But I also grew up, so the other issue is, I'll catch up on everyone's chat in a second. Also, hi, Anthony. Hold on, my brain's nest. We need to talk. Don't worry about it. But why do you do that? Don't do that, Gaspacho. Why do you guys do that? Why would you do that? That's literally just triggering anxiety. Asking for a serious answer to gain insight, not to start shit or come into a place of judgment. But as a straight person who has zero issues with anyone else's sexual preferences, if they are saying it to you as an insult, why is it offensive to you? So I'm going to be honest, Hazzy. As someone who is bisexual, and this is probably really bad of me to say, and this is maybe I'm the problem, I also use the term the way that people use it. But I'm doing it from a more like funny way, not to, excuse what I'm doing, but it doesn't bother me. So I wish I could give you insight on that, but that would definitely be a question for Midnight. So Midnight, if you are comfortable answering Tazzy's question, feel free. I couldn't speak on behalf of someone who gets offended for it because I grew up saying.
Yep, we grew up calling everything gay.
I grew up calling everything gay, and I grew up calling everything retarded. So, and I know.
Yep.
That offends people, but I don't use it towards people anymore because I know people get offended.
Also depends on your friend group, who you hang out with. It's very situational.
I mean, yeah, but I try not to do that because then that's like saying, oh, well, if I say, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. We're not going to have that conversation. I'm going to stop that right there. We're going to stop that right there. All right, let me scroll back up. I cut out all hate speech because I'm violent sometimes. Well, it's probably a good thing if you do cut that out. Say the uncomfortable shit, set the boundaries. Yeah, see, that's one thing that I used to let people walk all over my boundaries, and I took my boundaries down and just let people do whatever they wanted. Because I am a people pleaser at heart. It's not a great quality trait that I have, but it is. And slowly I've started building those boundaries to where I don't care if I hurt your feelings if you're willing to cross my boundaries. If you don't respect my boundaries, I don't respect you. I don't. Fuck off. Okay, but Gaspacho, I need some type of like indication on what this conversation is about because you're literally stressing me out right now. And don't tell me, don't worry, because you shouldn't have said anything at all, and you should have just had the conversation. But now you have.
Not to worry. He's gonna worry triple the amount.
Yeah. You're like using every trigger word possibly. We need to talk. Don't worry about it until later, though. Ooh. Okay, can you do me a favor? And just message it to me then? So I know it's there and I'm not going to sit here thinking about it the entire time because I'm going to stress. Bruh, is that a Nessie? It is, but I also have like a family of Nessies back here. And a Bing Bong.
Bing Bong.
I want, Softy has one. It's a really big Nessie. And I'm like, oh, I want it so bad. But
Like
I
the size
don't know where
of
she
you?
got it.
Like
No,
human
it's
size?
like, I do want one the size of me, but that's expensive. It's like this tall. Like it's big, and I'm like, oh, I want it.
Cup. Oh, wow. Okay. So like double the size of what the one on your mic is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll cross those boundaries like a Mexican with no passport, and I'll jump over that border just to work with for a couple dollars. This is wild, killer cool.
I love
That's
that. That's funny as
crazy.
fuck. Oh, I love that.
I also got my Bing Bong. I seen that.
Bing Bong.
I seen that. I'm not that unhinged anymore. The fact that your cat did not get any pets makes me offended. Oh. Hey. Butt face. I was gonna call you something else, but somebody redeemed no swearing. And thought that they were funny.
I mean, I think
Use
it's-
a female dog. Wow, really? You guys can just tell me you hate me.
Use the same time, huh?
It's fine. I can take
Let the
it.
record show that I do not do this to you.
Let the record show it's not
Yeah,
my
but you're
fault.
trying to save your points.
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
I'm at it.
I'll DM you after my meeting. I'm gonna be real honest. Why are you messaging in your meeting and giving me anxiety while you're in your meeting?
Women call me the super soaker, and I'ma soak your bed to death. How long can you hold your breath?
Are we? We're doing this. Okay, got it.
Because I have anxiety is a crazy fucking answer.
So I grew up very religious. Oh yes, Kelly, I am. Sorry, I don't hide that. I'm very proud of that. Wait for it, Jerry. I've known since 4th grade. I've lost a lot of friends because of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. I'm very open about that. Do it.
Execute Order 66.
We done now? You done blowing up my ear holes?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm the type of person who doesn't swinging first. You know what's funny? Is people were I'm getting overstimulated. Me too. What was I saying? Oh, people were afraid to fight me in high school. Do you believe that? Middle school and high school. I was less round. I was actually skinnier. I don't know that I would. You look like you can break me in half. So I don't know where they were getting that from. But apparently, my RBF fucking wonders. Damn it. I forget that the timer's there because it's not right in my face, and then I realized, and I was like, "Ugh, you suck." Some formal holes. That's how you get arrested, Charity. We already lost the towers. Can we hold off? We don't want to lose anything else. They're not gonna let you in the States. Nanny Kathy, hello. How are you? How we doing? How we feeling? Joining the conversation, but trying to catch up. Hugs to anyone who needs them. I'll always take Nanny Kathy hugs. Okay. Purple, blue, red, or green?
Purple.
Purple.
I didn't process any of those colors.
Purple, blue, red, or green. Ew, why is my mic wet? Did you understand that time?
No.
Put it right next to your face when you're eating an apple.
The color of
Instructions
Barney.
unclear For hugs, I am now eye level with a
The
cat
big
nipple.
blue.
Big blue.
Okay.
Blood. Grass.
Okay. Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Pick one before I Wolverine your ass.
Blood.
Blood. Not funny. Blood. How was your weekend, Nanny Kathy? I wish Randy still streams so I could barge in with my Oh. I'm not finishing that. Dad Pack, hello, how are we? How we doing? What's happening?
So what is this punishment for the swears?
Oh God, what's static electricity? For this swear, what is that? Oh, those are your shades. I was like, what is that?
You know, she's got those markers out. I don't know what she's gonna do with them, but like somehow she's gonna end up in like old Greg makeup. It's just what comes to mind.
I don't have markers. What are you talking about?
Or what were they? Paint pens? Whatever you just had in your hand.
No, those are in the bathroom. I'd have to physically get up and go to the bathroom and put the old Greg paint on. That's too much work, especially because I had tinted my skin green. And please hold.
Holding.
I got fucking wrecked as soon as I spawned in.
Instructions unclear. I tried to hold. I sneezed and fell down the stairs. There's now a painting that fell around my neck.
I'm sorry, what? There's a painting. What?
Ah.
If they were dogging you?
Dogging.
If you were dogging you, yeah, that's one thing when you speak up and draw the line, but if they were dude, that's so gay. Calling an enemy gay or something, it doesn't have to. You know what? That's a valid take. Okay, so this is me sort of kind of taking back what I said, and this is because I think this is something that really bothers me because it's so adamant at the workplace. I'm also missing so many messages, and I apologize. You guys can all let go, by the way. Sorry. The man's got to work, and I have a routine in the morning, and I wasn't letting anyone ruin that. So, yes. If I am having a conversation with A and B, now this is slightly different because we're not in a party, but let's say at work, right? If we're having a conversation A and B, and I'm genuinely trying to be quiet about it, but the C party is listening, and they report that, and don't say anything to me about it, then I have a problem.
Then they can see their way out of here.
Yeah, because how are you going to say that something bothered you to, let's say, HR? I'm talking like a work business professional thing where my job, any job in New York State, is very adamant on their stupid fucking sexual harassment thing. And I'm just like, I'm not even talking to you.
Are they?
It has nothing to do with you. So I guess that's kind of where it's like blurred lines a little bit. Randy would finish it. That I don't want to. Randy's girlfriend might kill you, Charity. You might want to be careful.
Yeah,
She's a little firecracker. I'd watch out.
Yeah, she's a spicy meatball.
Why can I not use my walk on? Wait. Backpack?
Backpack, yeah.
Backpack, is that you? That's why, because you changed your name.
Yeah, you gotta update the Twitch usernames if you change.
I gotta update. I didn't know that was you, my guy. I gotta update it in StreamerBot. Hold on. Yeah, if you guys change your name and don't tell me, you're fucked.
For fuck's sake.
For
Also,
fuck's
that's
sake.
another swear.
You.
That's another one.
I love Jace right now.
Hold on, I gotta find it. There we are. Username. Edit. Save. Save. Try it now. P's and Q's. I'm still trying to open this.
P's and Q's, bitch.
How long do we have to? Oh, I already said that you can let go. Update on my situation. I messaged my neutral friend to talk to him about it, and apparently it isn't the first time that this has happened, and apparently other people have been upset with the person too. The neutral friend has talked to this person before about the same situation I'm in. Gotcha. Well, how many stories was that? 3?
3. Bitch.
Those are not as liquidy as I thought that they were going to be, and I don't like that. Did you want me to call you back regularly, by the way? Not you. It doesn't mix well with toothpaste.
What does? Tell me what does. Besides maybe vanilla ice cream. Because it would taste like mint chocolate.
Just wishing I could do the job for you, sir. Give her a ha in the hi-ya. I'm so over people changing their name and exclusive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel that. There's been a couple of people I've had to switch their buttons, and I'm like, you didn't even tell me. And then I gotta take my ass to bed. Have a good sleepy sleep, Chronic. Appreciate you. When we peaking? When did you want to peak? Our times don't match up anymore. You know? Time zones, time change, daylight savings, all that shenanigans. I don't like how thick that those are, by the way. I thought that these were going to be more like liquidy. They are thick. Yeah, you hate me. Yes, I hate you. Because my time zone.
Exactly it.
Clip it.
Yep.
Love this fucking song.
We created time zones. We got it.
Personal things, I don't like bringing other people into things. I try to resolve it myself and try. Yeah. There was one time. Okay, so I'm going to. Is violating ADOS. I'm on the clock. My job gives us a 7-minute time frame to use the bathroom. But I don't know the laws. I mean, you can go over it, but like they really don't want you to. Guess you got new glasses. Let's go. What kind of glasses are you getting? Excuse me. I was very beefy. What about Thursday? This week? Does that work? Or do you want to stick to Mondays? You got to tell me, man. I don't know what your schedule is. Oh, Callie, you also said something and I read it, but I didn't answer it. I was just trying to make a joke because oh, wait. Is it that obvious? I didn't realize that. My bad. Schedule what dat? This is why I don't make plans with you because you're so hard to talk to. Just answer the question.
Is that an Aussie thing?
When do you want to play Pink? What's your schedule?
I mean, like, I've got my work schedule. That's about it. I don't schedule anything else.
Oh, Tazzy, you're still here? Oh. Peak? When? Thursday. No, not right now. Thursday.
Right meow?
Right meow?
Hold on. Wait. Tazzy, I created an event in Discord for you, Ray, and I on the 24th for Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders.
So, just so you're aware, it is there. I was going to try and send us a group chat of the invite so none of us forgot, but I had to add Ray on Discord because I didn't have her on Discord. Cool, that's not peak. I just want something to just smash against my head. I said Thursday! That was the first thing I said. I said Thursday, and I'm asking everybody if Thursday works, and nobody's answering me. How is Thursday? Does Thursday work for everybody, or do we need to find a different day? I can start earlier. The earliest I can start is 6 a.m. because that's when I get home. So my Wednesday night. Yes. Your Wednesday night, my Thursday morning. What Thursday? This Thursday, you fucking ninny. Pay attention.
I believe his question is, what is Thursday? Not what Thursday. You know, there's a apostrophe S there.
Yeah, but when you talk to Charity enough, he's going to somehow twist that and be like, well, I asked you what Thursday. And then he's going to be like, no, technically you asked what's Thursday. And then he's going to be like, well, yeah, but I asked. And I was like, that's not what you said. I probably won't be able to make that. Is there a day that works better for you? When you come to LockyCon, I'm going to find somebody to find a long rod and just make a charity skewer out of you. Your Sunday, my Monday? Okay, we can do that.
Same difference.
Wait, your Saturday, my... Wait.
No. She said your Sunday.
I know, I just reread it. Will you give me a chance to process? I'm just waking up still, goddammit. Everything I read, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. You know I'm slow. Give me a chance. All right, hold on. Are we still good for the 24th then? That's not changing, right? Like, we're still good for that. Yeah? I'm just making sure that that's not changing. Okay. Which Saturday would be best for you? Because I know we couldn't do the 17th for the Saturday into Sunday. So which Sunday would be better for you? Charity, you're also a part of this question. I'm not streaming it on the Sunday. And we're just playing. We're just playing to play. I'm just letting you guys know that. I'm just playing to play. He's an Aussie too. Now I have a whole lot of Aussie friends. That's what happens when you play RP. They have a whole server. I got invited to it to play RP on their server, and I tried. But the server broke. Every time that I would load in or fly in, because some servers are very particular about not using real terms, like loading up the game.
Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. You coward.
Sorry, my
sick.
he's bothering my ear. You awake now? I've been awake. Nah, fuck that. They're a bunch of words on the server. Well, the particular one that I was on, it wasn't too bad, and they were really
if I
nice.
had my finger in your butt, you really
Their
can't
mascot
talk shit to me
was
ever again or raise your voice at me because you've
I
technically
think it
been
was a
my
sloth
puppet.
in one of them, but Hottie and Marky would play on the server, and they're like, "Oh, you should come play sometime," and I was like, "Oh, cool." So I did, and my head kept popping. Which, for those of you who aren't aware of RP terms, that means that your game literally is glitching the fuck out. You cannot walk. Like, the floor just disappears and you're walking, but you're like, you can't see any of the map. It's great. It's fantastic. Shit, you're right. I forgot about the... See, I got you. So, when you get the schedule up, because you need to go to bed, Miss Ma'am. You've been up all fucking night. Streaming. Get some rest. Look at your schedule. Get back to me, and I will get back to Charity, because he doesn't get an option now, because he's being the little bitch. Hi, Casper. How are you? There's a spider on your S. On my what? What? Where? Wow, I leave now? Fuck you. It's not... You're not one to get offended easily, so, you know. You feeling okay? Do you need a cookie? You need a cupcake? You doing all right? On my titty? There's not a spider on my titty. Also, stop looking at my tits. I'll buy the man a flight. No. My man on the phone, a flight. What? It's a 4-hour shift. I've been up since 2 a.m. and I have to work in 3 hours. Please go get some sleep. Have insomnia? Well, at least lay down. Okay, I guess I can play the game now, yeah?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know, can I? I'm going to be 100% with you all. I'm procrastinating the fuck out of this because it's a boss battle. That's what we're going back into, is a boss battle, and I don't know that I really want to do that. Because then my counter's going to go back up. And then I have to remember how many times I've died already. Excuse me. I also realized the other day that I totally did not switch my game from just chatting back to the game. But when I went to go fix it after stream, because I know I was going to play it the next day, it was apparently already fixed. But if I go to bed now, I'll miss my shift. Set 20 million alarms like the rest of the human society does. Do you know how many alarms I had to make sure I got up for stream? And I was up in time. But I was moving so slow that I was late. So late. Zane, did you... add songs to the playlist for the road trip?
I'll let you know in a minute.
Oh, never mind. Jace is checking. He was worried. He was like, I don't think Jace wants to listen to Screamo music. And I was like, you realize that,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
Listen to what you want to listen to. No, he hasn't.
You should have made a blend. What do you mean? It's no different than just adding songs. At least this way you get to listen to songs that you want to listen to. You don't get to say a damn thing about the music or the shitty singing the entire way. I'm just telling you that right now. One word, I'm kicking your ass out of the car and you're walking your ass. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, it's this one. How can I add? What the fuck? You...
How many?
As many as you want. It's a playlist for a reason. It's going on shuffle. No songs will be sent in an order. Literally playing shuffle and putting it on. That's it. There has to be some guidance. You get no guidance. Figure it out. Oh, look. We started and there's an ad. What great timing I have. Don't forget to lose thyself in thy music. All right.
Oh, look, he's adding songs now.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a good job. Was that believable? Did you like that? I tried 3 songs and they were already in there. I give up. Okay, princess. I kind of want to play the drawing game at some point. Oh, you want to know what I missed playing? I was thinking about it the other day. We were watching somebody stream. I think this was Jace time when he just first joined stream. I don't know if Punisher was around for this, but Scriblio. Do you remember that, Charity?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like...
When I first came around, Scriblio was a thing. But, again, I only saw you on Saturdays till I figured it out.
Yeah. There was... Well, because I was... we were watching someone on YouTube, but I can't remember exactly who, but they were... Scriblio came up, and I was like, oh, man. Or a game similar to that. I think it was the Gartok phone or something. But I was like, oh, we used to do this all the time because my little potato PC couldn't do much. So we would play Among Us, and then when Among Us stopped getting, it got buggy and stuff, and people were just trying to, we went to Scriblio, and we were just having a baller of the time, and, what the fuck is his name? Bubbles. Him and Ashley's, which she's the one who is the reason why Melbourne, Japan is a thing. I was trying to spell dolphin and I spelled dolphin. So that's been an ongoing inside joke since then. Like if you go to my Steam page, one of my comments is dolphin. And when I was apologizing to everybody for the PO box and stuff like that, not being able to send stuff out, Bubbles replied in Discord and he just put dolphin, and I was like, I'm glad that this is still a thing and you guys still remember it. Like that feels good. Gotta go get ready for my work shift. I hope you have a quick and easy day. I'm sorry you're running on very little sleep, but please make sure you take care of yourself. Australia forever. My tummy feels very upset right now, and I don't know why. I think it'd be that post-nasal drip. Oh, look, the ads are over. I was going to get you guys words, and then I got sidetracked by telling a story, so oops. Crazy, imagine that.
Crazy. Who would've
I was
thought?
crazy once. He walked me in the womb. The answer to that is no. Lose yourself in the music I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. I don't remember. Oh, wait, do I have stuff that I can lock? Level up. Level up, level up, level up. The answer is no. I think I need some Dayquil. My nose is stuffed. I think it's this way. Hold on, I gotta get my bearings on the controls. Maybe I should use this because it seems easier to parry with. Maybe not. I don't know. I really got to work on my parrying skills. It's me downfall. I'm not good at it. I don't like doing it. Oh, Uno has an update, by the way.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
They
Not the
figured out new
Punisher
ways to
would care.
fuck me over.
Actually, you know what's funny is they have an Uno that has like a draw 10 card or something. I don't know. God damn it.
No, they better not. I'll fuck them up. You and Uno are
I'm
gonna
pretty
fight.
sure it's called Uno No Mercy. But
Yes, that's exactly what it's called.
Yep, they can no mercifully suck my balls.
I don't want to do this all over again. Oh, shit.
So what I'm hearing is Punisher wants to play Uno right now.
Sounds like that to
Last thing I
me.
said.
No, I'm pretty sure he said that.
That's what I heard too.
You said, let's play some Uno. Let's get some shoes.
Chatty, don't help them. I've been really nice to you.
You sure about that? Hi, I'm Paul. Hi, Wolf. How are you? How you doing? How you feeling? I don't know why I said it like that. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Oh no! Big guy found me. Oh, I can't get up over here. I fucked up. 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 No! Bye bye. See you later. Grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it, go, 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 go. Whew. Time to get Nickelback on the playlist. That's fine. I don't hate Nickelback. No, 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 no. Ooh. Everybody's going to the party. Have a real good time. La 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 la. Ooh. Wait, where was that big ass boss at? How did I... I'm confused. I'm very confused. I know I didn't defeat it. And I didn't come over here last time, clearly. So what am I doing wrong? Attention! What? What's going on? Oh, golly gee, Batman, there's a hole in the ground. I only wonder what that could mean.
Well, if the poll said you should defeat the boss.
I don't know how to get to it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. All I remember doing is walking over that, and then he popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, ugh. Oh, God. Fuck. Look, the poll said... The poll said that I would defeat it. Not that I... Oh, fuck. Oh, there's goodies in here. My goodies. My goodies. Not my goodies. Wah, 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 wah. Well, how do I get out of here now? Okay, that is going to work. I didn't honestly think that was going to work. To be fair. Alright, let's spend some of these. Level up, level up, level up. Fuck. Oh, I forgot I got this. Oh, that's not bad. There's too many stats to look at. Way too many stats to look at. Get over here. On guard. Okay, sorry. I was playing with it. Proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try and use the smaller one. I don't know if I can sneak around this guy. I don't think I can. No! Owie. Go down, go down, go down, go down, no, 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 no. Oh no! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down.
Got the fucking campus, baby. Come on,
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't be mad, it's crazy. Don't be mad, it's crazy. You can't use my line against me. You can't be mad. I appreciate you. Thank you. Stop it. I'm sure he's worth killing, but I don't know how to kill him. I'm gonna fight you. I appreciate you. Thank you. You did not need to do that. Attack, deflect, repeat. Oh, yeah. Have you seen me try and deflect? Also, it's corrosive down here. Keisha didn't notice. Tyler, thank you for the 67 biddies. Give me my... Here we go. Thank you. Is there a way for me to get to that? Do I gotta defeat him to do that? Thank you. How are you? How you doing? Appreciate you. Why do you sound like you're leaving? Ote. Ote. Can I not get in here? Oh! Did you try not being tired, Tyler? Oh. How did I do that? Oops. No, jump away. Excuse him. Okay, bitch. Right now that I've wasted all my thingy. One word. 5 letters. Pussy. Change my mind. Whoa, what I miss? Jace, did you eat?
Technically?
Technically? What do you mean technically?
I've had snacks.
You guys are gonna be the death of me.
I ate a calzone if that helps.
It does help. I knew you ate. How do I move that tube down? I don't want to fight that thing. I raised you a meatball sub in Ghost Energy. Ew, I don't like Ghost Energy, but the meatball sub's pretty decent. What did you say? Thank you for the hype train. Thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you for the biddies. I don't want to do this. I'm scared. He's got balls for hands. No, I don't. I don't. I don't even have enough health for this shit. Actually, what is this? Fine. Man, now I want to stop. Can you... Oh, stop. I'm getting hungry. You guys are making me hungry. The apple did not do anything for me. Okay? If you wanted me to admit it, I'll admit it. I need you to get over here quicker because I'm gonna die and I'd rather you just be over here. Yeah, I'm limited on where I can go because corruption. Because crimes. Drugs. Oh! Okay, buddy. Okay. I don't think you should be able to come this close. I'm cornered. Pause. I can't do this. There's no fucking way. Please get away from me. Don't get closer. Come over here, big guy. Oh, I can't bring that ladder down. That's unfortunate. Yeah, he is. I was told to tell you, Jace, to post your favorite quote. Do I get sushi tonight? Yes, please. Hold on. Wait, I can't pause. Wait.
My favorite quote for what?
Favorite quote for what? He's asking. Motivational quote.
I don't know if I have one, to be honest.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to live your life by, I guess?
I don't.
All right. He is not going to be of any help.
Nope.
Punisher, you got one?
Shit. Why you gonna put me on the spot like that?
You should have known if he didn't have one. I was going to ask you. You bitch. I forgot to heal. I wasn't paying attention to my health.
About not keeping a plan. That's what I do. Because life sucks.
Are you
and the plan
talking
always gets fucked up.
about the fucking one quote from the movie? Make the plan. Attempt to execute the plan.
Nope,
throw away
one.
the plan.
Nope, that one. It's literally a life quote.
Make the plan.
Expect the plan to go off the
Execute
rails.
plan. Expect the plan to go off the
And
rails.
throw away the plan.
Throw it.
That's literally my life.
Y'all are wild. Nanny Kathy, do you have one? Oh, treat others the way you want to be treated. Where's my guide?
See, I like Nanny Kathy's, and every time I treat someone how I want to be treated, they don't treat me the same. So I stopped using that one.
Be the bigger person.
I'm always the bigger person, Ness.
Not. It's not motivational, but a way of life.
Look.
You know, Jace, I thought you were gonna laugh.
They say it costs nothing to be nice, but like it costs nothing to be an asshole. You know what I mean?
An asshole.
No.
Oh wait, what
Just
did the
said
8-ball say? I didn't see it.
It is certain. So, boy gets sushi tonight.
What?
That was Hoy redeemed the 8-ball. She asked if it could have sushi tonight, and then the 8-ball said it is certain.
Oh, okay. You enjoy that.
Huh?
Well,
So, don't be like me. Cause I just figure if I get fired, that's just quicker I can move. I'm just kidding. Purification? I don't think I have one of those. I don't have one of those. Oh, I do. I have 5 of them to be exact. Maybe there's a chance that we can do this. Don't hold your breath. Man, I want to sub so bad right now. I hate you.
Sorry.
Can you back up so I can at least get over there? Yeah.
no.
You know when you blink and your eye gets all foggy? That's happening right now.
That's all.
Whee!
The best is when it happens when you're driving.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
That's an extreme sport as an adult.
I'm taking the Christmas tree down today. I'm gonna feed the goats. You have goats?
Goats?
Wait, why is today your favorite day of the year? Is it your birthday? No. Gimme. I got it. I know. But again, you're working. They're just local goats at our old... I read that as cemetery for some reason. Owie, 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 owie. I'm okay with it. You're good. You're okay. Just wave me down when you're... Because I'll turn you back up. What the fuck? What the Oh, I didn't pay attention to my... Oh, fuck me. I know. I keep forgetting to check it. Because I thought I had to go all the way up. I'm not good at these games. And now I gotta go all the way back to the back of it to get my fucking thingy. Wait, can I use this preemptively? Is that what I'm supposed to do? No. It's too late, I already used it. Respectfully move. Moves the bar back or starts to move. I don't think I can do this. Like very little standing area. You can shoot it in the crotch? Gotta parry a bunch. Makes the game easier when you get the parry. I'm not good at parrying. I don't know how to do that. Please heal, please heal, please heal, please heal. Thank you. Shit, I forgot what shock did. I'm running out of room, I'm running out of room, I'm running out of room. I'm gonna be honest, Zane, you're gonna get real upset with me real quick. Because this whole experience is a learning curve for me. I don't know what that's doing. I'm sure it would, but I don't know where to go from here. Okay, alright. Alright. You win. You win. You win. You win. You win. I don't know how to get to the other side. That's the problem. Like, can I not get over there? Am I not supposed to get over there? I'm gonna die if one of these guys touches me. Heal me. I need you to backseat game a little bit right here and tell me where I need to go. This is the way I came. There's nothing over there. Hmm. Oh. What the fuck?
This place gives me the creeps. It's like something's gonna jump out any second.
I'm so stupid. Fuck. Resting. Okay, wait. What exactly does this do? Temporarily increases overheat, electric shock, decay, and corruption resistance. Made to enhance puppets' attribute resistance. When used, enhances resistance to overheat, electric shock, decay, and corruption. Plus defense potion position. Potion. Something is better than attacking. What? Not helping me, but okay. Been years since I played this. Wouldn't have been that long. I broke the game. How did I die? Oh my fucking god. That's some actual bullshit. That is some actual bullshit. Oh, I cannot believe this shit. Haha, bitch. Shit. Okay. Wait, so you're going to all those places? That's just for training? Okay. For how long? What I'm hearing is vacation for me. I'm just kidding. No, you're supposed to be training. He's gonna be like, why? No reason. I think I'm gonna order a sub. Punisher, this is your fault.
Works for me. I like being blamed of food.
Oh. No. What's in the box? I don't want to know what's in the box. Who? You just run around this way. I can't. I gotta go down. Fuck. These nuts. Hi, Vix. How are you? How you doing? Haddly doodly. Haddly doodle. Oh, fuck. Hell no. How do you people play these games? I'm alright. How goes your day? Me die a lot. I die a lot. Yeah, me too. I have 25 deaths so far, and I think I'm missing like a couple here and there. It's good. I'm hungry and I'm sleepy. But that's my constant state of being, so. Let's go. Let's go, big dog. Ooh, owie. Owie. Hell yeah. I die like twice and go to a different game. Honestly, tempting sometimes. I'm gonna be real with you. Keep it a $1.50. Yeah. Which part? I can't say it fast enough. Oi! You're gonna be... Stop being a little bitch hiding behind your shield, you little fuckface. Give me. Haha. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, I thought I moved out of your way. My bad. And you're dead. Hell yeah. Oh, I got some banana bread. Oh, God damn. Where do I go? Where do we go from here? What do you want from me? Let me do it for you. How do I... What do I... Hello? 2 years ago are my Eliza P clips, apparently. What, do your Eliza P clips tell you how to get the fuck out of here? I'm stuck. This is like one giant washer dryer machine. Our table, it's broken. With great power comes great big booty bitches. Oh, there's a staircase over here. I'm fucking a genius. Look at my penis. Oh, wait. I know what I'm supposed to do here. Come here, little butterfly. Give me your goodies. My goodness. My goodness. No, my goodness. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Is he over here? Look like I scratched my butt. Yeah, what kind of sub should I get? Say less. With your mouth? What? Big box.
Chicken parm or meatball are my go-tos.
I'm not much of a chicken parm gal, but I do fuck with meatball subs sometimes.
What about eggplant parm?
Nah, I'm not too keen on the eggplant.
Neither am I. Eggplant parm.
So good for all the tip. I knew that seemed like a setup. Oh! Thanks. I let me do it for It's a great sword. Well, this does 104, so it'd be this one. I still feel like this one's better. There's too many stats to look at. This hurts my head. Oh, I was looking at the weapon durability. Oh, you're so stupid. Abso-fucking-lutely not. I know. Remember that? Yeah. I know. I have a nice hairdo. I know. I have cool tattoos. Aside from my weird little, like, rash things that I had, my skin is actually pretty soft, I think. And I smell good. Sometimes she's stinky. Crazy. I'm trying to stay pretty even across the board, but this is a little bit hard. I had something else, but I don't know what I did. But, what am I doing? What's happening right now? Excuse me. Chain can be swung powerfully. Oh! Oh my god. I can whip things? Where do I apply this? Oh, it's a one-time use. Well, that's stupid. Make that make sense. I don't know what to do with these. I need to turn them into currency. How did I do that last time? I think I did it here. Oh, I went to the level up and then I did, yeah. Hell yeah. Sure. That seems like a good idea. Look, I'm doing things. Woo! I don't know which way to go. There's so many ways to go. Do I go through the hole? Do I go up and over? Oh, God. This is a big open space. What the fuck is that? Are those fish? Oh, no. I think this is the way I'm supposed to go. I don't think I should go this way. Oh, I hear you, little fuck face. What's over here? Nobody, nobody, nobody. Got you. Why I do. Yeah, I thought that was the opposite side. God damn it. Son of a beach. Oh wait, you know I didn't check something. I think this is my bad, but I just realized that it's doing the thingy, and I don't think it's supposed to be doing the thingy, but it's doing the thingy. It's not okay. But it's trying to do the thingy, so let me do this. Are you still good for Friday?
Yep.
Okay. Did it. I might get a notification. Sorry. I'm trying to do things. Except for some reason I can't get it to actually pop up on the actual OBS. I had a separate chat for it, but for some reason it's being a bitch. Let me do it for you. Oh, right. Fall damage. That's the thing. Well, I might as well just go here, considering the fact that I just wasted a fucking potion. You're doing a good job, sweetie. What the fuck was that? Oh, I'm gonna have to chance this. No! Get up, 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 get up. Can you get up that? Does anybody know? I'm gonna waste my time trying to die going up this. No! I didn't mean to use that. I am trying to open the door, you fuck face. What the fuck? Okay, got it. Got it. Hell yeah. Yes, pumpkin. Yes. Oh, there's so many ways to go. Who the fuck are you? Oh my god, what's happening? There's so many things I'm missing right now. It's not even funny, and it's stressing me out.
All puppets must die. All puppets must die. Every single one.
I'm gonna have to kill you, aren't I?
You can't fool me. All puppets must
Aw,
die.
fuck me.
Kill the puppets. I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
Okay, alright. Listen, you little fucknut.
I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. We can talk about this. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here. This is where I die, because this little crazy ass dude.
I wish I'd known. Surviving is a hell of a thing.
You don't get to back me into a corner. First of all, check yourself. Alright, will you knock it the fuck off? I'm gonna die. Okay. Alright, psycho. Oh, I can't tell what's blood or oil. I don't even know how I got over there. This is gonna be so much fun. Yeah. Oh, hey. Alright, so that's that way. That's good to know. What's this way? You bitch. See, now I can do it because I have 4 of these stupid fucking things. That's me convincing myself that it's possible. Alright, he was... No, no! We're just gonna go fight him real quick. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. Hold on. I have something that I have to collect. Fuck off. Okay. 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 Back me into a corner. Let me out. Everything is awesome. No. 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 Macaroni with the chicken strips. Oh god, please heal, please heal. You know, I don't think I need to fight you. So I'm just gonna go up. You can fuck yourself. I'm gonna go fight something that I actually have a chance to beat. These fuckers. Ooh, what's this? Levers. Pull the lever, Crunk! Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Let's go! Hey, wait!
Fantastic. The pipe fit like a glove. Well, like a pipe that fit. Idioms, you know?
Did it again, so I'm a little bit. There's gonna be something in here, in there.
Alright, Benini. Pull yourself together. Have a duty to this city.
Nope. Like a glove. Thanks. I am the Moonstone. Oh my god, there's so many places to go.
I have to stop them.
Who the heck are you?
Look at me.
Hold on. Geppetto's a friend of yours.
Geppetto's a friend.
Did he send you? Those stalkers were supposed to be
I clicked
working for
H.
me, but well,
They're dead.
Fortune left me to my fate. That was not helpful. My butler went to barricade the back door, and I haven't seen him since. Pulcinella has been a loyal-
Fortunella.
I'd hate to lose him. The factory is, of
Did you
course,
get a
my
sub?
priority. We must.
No, not yet.
But please,
I don't know what kind of sub to get.
eye out for my butler. I'd consider it a personal
turn.
favor and owe you in kind. Before all this chaos, Fuoco was the puppet in charge of the furnace.
But he changed. He was a stand-up fella once. Now,
Indubitably.
not so much. I'm told, how did this nightmare come to be?
Yeah, see? I'm talking about the man, you
Before he
see?
does any more harm. Before all
No, I
this,
don't want to talk to you anymore. Stop it.
did this nightmare
Alright, can I jump down here, go over here, and I'm missing some things. On the other side of this thingy. Yeah, you, who are you? Bro. Ow. Going to bed, but I got your tab. Happy streaming. Happy sleeping. Oh, you're a woman.
You made it all the way here unbothered by ruffians. You've got
You're a fox and I'm a dog.
cares.
Oh my goodness.
This may well benefit our former client. Did you catch that subtle whiff of money in the air?
Money, money, money.
Us on our return trip. We had to deny his ridiculous request in person. Just
Am I the black cat?
joke. All we could do was
Oh, there's a black cat over there. Meow.
Keep your whiskers up if you're heading in there. He is the richest man in Krat. Or so they say. Who knows? Maybe he's handing out bags of money to lift his spirits.
that seems unlikely. No way are we doing that.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, Jace, I didn't show you. Got something for you.
Well, anyhow, best of luck.
BRB phone call. Aight. Hell yeah. I don't know. She probably thinks I'm weird. Never mind. Don't tell her anything.
Another one.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, just like the ones that you spent the other day and the ones that you gave David. Jesus Christ. You spend it on other people, I'm okay. Don't spend it on me. There's some pretty big pipes. Whoa, shit, there's 3 of you. Okay, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Settle down. We can talk about this. You can eat my ass, you piece of shit. See? Too many ways to go. You gotta watch these corners, man. Bitches be coming out of nowhere. Got a secret, can you keep it? I don't like that sound. No, I didn't mean to. Aw, you big dummy head. Pretty sure you've been swearing. Are you sure about that? I don't think I have. I actually genuinely don't think I have I? Aren't you supposed to be working? Yep. Yep. I don't like the consistency of it on my tongue. It's like never mind. I thought you liked it. It's crazy. There's a slight difference between the two. What the fuck? This isn't fucking zombies. We don't have fucking crawlers. We don't need them. This isn't round based. I keep putting it on different spots on my tongue. That went at the roof of my mouth. So it's not all in the same spot? Oh, he did. Hello? I need more heals. I'm going to die. There's not a pause button. Go. Please go. Please go. Please open up. Please go. Get. Go. Please get out of here. Go. Anywhere. Anywhere. Go. I don't like being chased. Get away from me. I'm safe on the ladder. Yep. This is where we're gonna spend the rest of the game. Safe from everything. No more angry puppets. Fuckity fuck fuck fuck. So how's everyone doing? I want to show the world that I'm a scaredy pants. I'm a big baby. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I found what's his face, but I don't remember where. I had a dream I was playing the NBA, but I'm too small. Define small. What are the requirements for? Forgot there was a hot fiery ball. 6'6", 7", 8'9". Just kidding. I know you meant 6 foot. I seen it in that. I'm 5'7". You're still taller than me. So there's that. You got that going for you. Not that, you know, you don't know me, but, you know, better than not. I'm going to be honest. I for sure thought you were trying to make a 6'7" joke. So I immediately 8'9'd it. And I was like, they're probably not. Also, get out of my head. I don't know where I'm going. There's no real joke to it, except for the fact that we're short. I'm just kidding. I said we, not you. I said we. Where did I find this little Geppetto guy? Where is he? I don't feel safe. Feel like at any moment this big ass guy's gonna come for me. You can play in the little leagues. Well, I didn't mean it like height wise, but I meant like, you know how they have like baseball little leagues? Maybe they have basketball little leagues. Is that not a thing? Not on the screen. Okay. Noted. I found it! Let's go. Little Leagues is crazy. Let me grab my shovel. Call me the excavator or something. I don't know. Okay. Let me put it in perspective for you. At least you're not 5'1". So true, is crazy. What can we level up? I just a baby. Really want that HP, if I'm being honest. I can only do my HP. That's stupid. I also popped out my shoulder 4 times, so I'm cooked. So what can you do? That sounds mean. I didn't mean it like that, but... What am I doing for you? Oh, wait, I got a new weapon thingy. I got an axe. What'd you say? Let me do it for you. Excuse me. Slightly heavy. Oh shit. Use storage. Special purification. Remove special. Oh, that's what I needed, but I didn't. Polymer. Huh. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with half this stuff. Wait! Oh, wait! I know what to do with this! Competing against 6'5". I did track and field on high. It gives you an advantage of that too. Probably. Them long leg lunges. I didn't do anything in high school. I tried out for cheerleading. Ironically, they were like, "Oh, you're really good. We think you'd be really great." And I was like, "I don't think I fit in with the personalities here," and I left. It was great. What am I supposed to do with these? Huh? Huh? Temporarily protects death ergo when hit. Maybe? All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've got a lot of stuff. I need to modify my arm. Let's start there. I don't know what the fuck this is. A tool that helps us... Right, okay. Okay. Oh, I can cower. Okay, so I don't actually have any collectibles that I can attach. For some reason, I thought that I did. That is a no. I do not.
Computer says no.
Once I make my move, you're free to check the game. I found them. Oh, fucking equipped that, my guy. What? What are we doing? Slack-a-lackin'. What are we doing? I forget that there's things that you can attach and then you gotta do other things and it just hurts my brain. Okay. We're good, I think. Oh. I'm still slightly heavy. I don't understand why. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Let's go back to the hotel. Motel Holiday Inn. Say what? To be fair, I got 4th place in my entire region, so not bad. That's not bad at all. Chatty said thank you for the gifted sub. Yep, and he spelled it with an I. You know he's doing that on purpose. 2 gold medalists? Hell yeah. I don't have any medals. Bullshit. What do you mean bullshit? He didn't. One of the exclamation point, my brain auto put it there because that's how he's been spelling it. I'm sorry. Listen, I wear glasses for a reason. That's all I'm saying. You bitch, I am. It's okay.
Mr. Vanine, the puppets get...
Wait, let me... What is this? Ooh. What's this? A Legion arm that holds powerful electricity. I can shock bitches? Say less. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got the power. Hell yeah. I got some banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah. Look at my arm. God's Fury. I had a couple other things. Did you just combine all of those? Is that... Okay, you did. All right. Cool. Why are you covered in butterflies, Miss Ma'am? You have nothing helpful to say. Geppetto, where's Geppetto? Upstairs. Geppetto? But where upstairs? Is he in the back room? In the back. For a thing. I said your favorite word. The back rooms. What up, Pops?
Ask me any questions.
Ask me about my wiener.
Venini Works is the puppet's main base. It's a factory where they manufacture more of themselves. Venini himself went to stop them, but I'm worried.
I found him. How do you want me to rescue him? That's the question I have. What's this? My arm? Oh, I forgot about this. No way. No way.
Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic moon day. And if not, hopefully, in the words of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, we can make it a little bit better for you. Oh, I don't have any quartz. Never mind. I can't do shit. Also, do you have a specific way that you would like to be addressed? If not, that's perfectly okay. Thank you for listening. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your random rant. Wasn't necessarily a rant. It was a valid point. You're not ready is cool. I bet. Well, now you're stuck here because I'm writing in the book. Sorry. It would help if I could spell. She's digging out her book. I'm digging out the book. The book is here. You can come whenever you want. Me, Jace. I believe this one is also for Jesse. That's crazy. But yes. Absolutely wild. Channing gets really excited. Jesse! Jesse! We're gonna have to buy you a flight to the States Mister. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Ooh. Did everybody drink water today? Water would be nice. Nobody look at me. You're about to see my greasy ass hair. You making fun of me? That's some high quality. It's true. I had coffee and orange juice. Ooh. You know what sounds really good with orange juice? A fucking hash brown. Good breakfast. What did you say? Way to whisper it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Why are you just standing there? I gotta go fight something, don't I? We're about to get fucked up. Can I cross this? Let's go! Whoa! What the fuck? Sit down. Good boy. Was not ready. Haha, miss me, fuckface. I gotta read these at some point. By that reaction, Jesse said something. I'll let him tell you. Ow! No! No! The big ass guy's down here, you fucker. I don't want to be down here. Oh, God, no! I didn't know that they could see you up there. Thanks, Jetty. That's some bullshit.
Lizard.
I forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Lizard.
Just saying.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Fuck your life. I need him to like go. Ow! Be hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up. No. He's a Jesse. It is a Jesse. He's got me on his. We have problems. Just trying to, you know. Yeah. Get as close as possible. Who was ready to fuck shit up? Time to die. Don't walk in this room like we're gonna kick his ass, because we're not gonna do shit. Okay, I didn't know there was a Big Daddy in this, and if you haven't played BioShock, then you wouldn't get that reference, but... Oh, that's your crotch. Okay. Never mind. I take it back. Why is it on fire? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. What the fuck? Hold on, wait a minute. No, don't focus on me. No. No, turn around. Focus on little shadowy guy. Tay, how are you? How you doing? How you feeling? How you been? Oh, back up. Back it up. Back that ass up. What's happening? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, he's got a gun? What in the fuck? Cheating ass. Oh, owie, owie, owie. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, shit. You are almost dead. There's no way I die here. She gotta go. I've been pretty good. Took some time off, came back, just living the best life. I'm gonna fuck this year up. That's what we're gonna do. Exactly, Chatty, exactly. I've got a save point. I can heal. I'm so excited. So excited. Jace, is it midnight for you?
Nearly 1 a.m.
Give me big brainin'. Hell yeah. Ow. Ow. I'm so excited. You got anything fun planned for this year? Any trips? Any what we got going on? What are we doing? Ow. Okay, I think we're good. I think they're done. Gotta save to go to. Ooh, I would like to I think the initial plan was in 2027 to go to Japan, or yeah. So if, you know, if that does happen and we happen to be there at the same time, we should try and cross paths. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty fucking mint. Ooh, and it's explosive barrel. I like it. Custom. Are you gonna move? No, you're not. Okay. I got a fire canister. We've come full circle. Oh, there's a whole area I didn't go into. Shit. I just realized looking at this that there was a whole ass area that I just completely disregarded. Candyman can. Wah wah wah. Ba-doop ba-doop ba-dee beep ba-doop ba-dee ba-brr, Candyman can. If you didn't make noise, wouldn't have known you were there. How do I... Ooh. No. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Might I have to sacrifice some of my health, or can I... Can I break these? Ah, okay. Never mind. Just kidding! I big-brained it. Ow. Okay. Okay. That's a little excessive, buddy. Calm down. You are no match for my big-ass weapon. You know, I'm really liking these views, by the way. It's like a whole new aspect to you working. Where are you going? I guess. You gotta log in. That's okay. Can I hit this? Okay. Alright, I thought I could, like, whack it. That's fair, though. What movie? No. Okay. Fuck, how do I get over there? How did I get over there? Nobody, nobody, nobody. Got you, nobody. I do. Where, I don't know what I was gonna ask. I should just heat up the salmon thingy. The salmon bowls and just eat one of those. I don't want to fight any of you again. I'm just gonna run through you. Silly dear, silly dear. How's your phone call, Punisher? Just want to make sure you didn't fall asleep. Let it rip. Beyblade. Suck my white ass ball. Oh, 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 hello. Grab your pitchforks and your torches. I am the Moonstone. Backfist. What up, flame boy? Yeah, you're not so tough over here now, are you? Bitch ass. Oh, wait, maybe it wasn't you. Hold on. Oh, I'm coming for you. Come here. Beach. I am a literal god. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I got a big pipe. That's what it said. I'm just literally reading what it said. Nobody say anything. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Stupid. What the fuck? Oh no! Climb, 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 climb quicker. Please go. Let's go. Come on. I should probably just kill that guy, but I died. I'm good. I'm gonna have to. He patrols the one way I gotta go. Nice hat. Thanks. How are ya? How you doing? How have you been? How are you and your partner? Okay, we're good now. I don't mind dying by this. Okay. 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 Oopsies. At least I got it up before I died. What's been up? What up been, Ken? Not much. feel it. Yeah. Well, you know. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Give me more health. Tin Man, what's happening? Nothing's really new. Nothing's really been up. Just figuring out what I can and cannot accomplish this year. What our goals are. And figuring that out. I gotta get rid of some of these. I don't know if I can though. 9 649. Payback swing, patient slash. Concentrate. I don't know what that means, but I kind of want to use this one. Assemble! Level up. Level up, level up, level up. I don't know what to do with these. The answer is probably use them. Oh, I can sell those. Escape from Tarkov. When? Me? Right. That's funny. I play Arc Raiders right now. I don't have any room for Tarkov. And it's a dog. He's not a furry, he's a dog. 'Cause I got that dog in me. This is giving me Resident Evil Village vibes with the ooh. Damn. Sounds like something a furry would say. That's crazy. I know the swing takes forever, but one hit kills, say less. That's gonna be a bitch in a boss fight, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We're like, why won't you swing faster? 'Cause it's heavy, stupid. I got thermite. Let's go. Time to play Siege. Start swinging before the fight. Easy. Hell yeah. Arc Raiders when? I don't know. I don't know what your schedule is. There's like so many questions that, no, you bitch. There's so many questions that need to be answered in order for me to answer that. But we can have a full party because if it's a weekend and the man's is available, he can... What is happening? Oh, right. That's the thing. We can have a full party then. I need to know what your availability is. Ah, there you are. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Yep. one. No! Got it. Hell yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Are you still working at the prison? Or did you move on to bigger and better things? Just, are you still at the one that's, over in my neck of the woods, or did you move to a different one? You did? Wait, that was 2 questions. We never get breaky. What about, oh, I don't know. Did you, were you updated on my brother? He's no longer in the state. He's out living his best life. Owie. Owie. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe this weapon is not the weapon for me. One hit kills, but those guys with the fucking pitchforks are a bitch. I think north, but yeah. Yeah, the second part of that, I'll let that lie. That, you know, I'm proud of him. It's the least I can say. It's not easy. And, you know, Ness can't handle big things is crazy. I eat a whole sub all by myself. No, I'm talking like Wegman sub. Them bitches are like 14 inches. And a lot of bread. Oh shit, I got locked in here. No, I don't. All right, I hate all of you. Stream it? Nah. Nah. The only person who's gonna watch me eat a 14-inch sub is on the phone. With eye contact. The dog down. Yep, it's crazy. I don't want this weapon anymore. I thought it was a good idea, and I don't think it is. Can I go back to this one? No! There we go. I'll take my 2 3-hit kills. All right. Crazy sauce. Wait, didn't I? Huh? Oh, right. Am I wrong? You're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm wrong? The Wicked Witch of the East. Adangard said, sit down. Alright, I don't want to fight you. I just want to go. Want to go get my shit back. My nose is so stuffed right now. It's so annoying. Alright, you're going first, because you're fucking cunt. Oh my god, fuck off, all of you. Imagine getting stopped by a tree is crazy. Haha, miss me, pitchfork guy. Exactly what I said. Sit here and tell me that I'm wrong, bro. I gotta finish setting those up. I gotta also set a cooldown down on the sound alerts. So Chatty doesn't spam the shit out of things. Overstimulate everybody. Yeah, you. Cute bitch. I don't know what else you expect from me. I told you, we're hurting feelings this year. Just kidding. Where am I going? What am I doing? This is too open and I don't feel safe. Hey, I just wanted you to know that you are not a bird. Oh, you're getting nice about it after we were just being mean. That's wild.
The people who went up there never returned.
Just trying to be a bully. I'm just kidding. I just want you to know that you are not a burden. Your feelings are not too much. Your needs are not an inconvenience. On the days when your mind tries to convince you otherwise, please remember this. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to be heard. Are you heard? Cared for and loved unconditionally. You are worthy of it all. I want it all. Appreciate you.
But I do know this. The cathedral is off limits.
Appreciate you, Chetty.
If you're determined to pass, you must prove your identity.
Oh, I gotta fight. Oh, is this where I have to tell the truth again? Or lie?
A stalker.
Fuck is this? No?
You've been warned, child.
The cuteness overload.
I am a sinner who could not save the ones I loved. If I let you go up there, that will only compound my sin.
I gotta fight you now, don't I?
Even if it hurts, persevere, my child. Having only one leg and one arm should curb your curiosity.
Oh, fuck. No, I don't want to fight you.
You're gonna fight him.
Oh, welcome back.
Yep. Hi.
How was your phone call?
Oh, it's fine. More work, people calling me off the clock. You know, the usual.
Oh, I wouldn't answer. Fuck that.
Well, there's only a handful of people I answer for. I also have to build my HR case.
Waha.
Hoo-ha-ha.
Cherish your life. I do not wish to witness more.
Can you stop decaying me?
Nope. Literally
I don't even know what that does. No.
Some kind of status effect. I wonder what that does.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. I see. My weapon durability.
Oh, that's no bueno. Range weapon durability significantly increases acid damage taken and adds continuous acid damage over time. Damn, that sucks. It's gonna fuck your weapon up.
Oh no. When did I switch weapons? Oh, fuck. I'm gonna die. 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 No, leave me alone. My new name is Brittany. Fuck. God damn it. I was doing so good. Not the good, the bad size. Said that backwards. Not the bad, good size.
I can't believe it's one day already.
Stop. I hate that so much. Assembly. I really gotta use shit. Okay. I think it's bullshit that I gotta run through all this again. Whee!
Whee!
I think I'm gonna order food in a minute.
Oh yeah, food time, yeah. Guess I'm gonna get a sub for lunch now.
Only the worthy may pass.
Only the worthy may pass. Dumb bitch. No! Oh my god, are you so stupid? I was trying to attack and I was using my healing potion. Absolute rubbish.
Rubbish.
I do not wish to witness more death.
Miss me. Fuck. Shit.
You'll soon find out. Falling down here is better than devouring terror above.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Cherish your life. I do not wish to witness more death.
Nope. Back the fuck up, bitch. Okay, okay.
Cherish your life.
Walked in on that one.
Wish to witness more death.
My pairing is not great. I don't know how I did that.
Magic.
I just know I'm about to die. And I'm covered in blood.
That's alright.
I've got the magic in me. It's a Speedville. It's a brand new day.
Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you
Hello.
so much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're having
Yeah.
a fantastic
Cute.
day. And if not, hopefully, in the words of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, we can make it a little bit better for you. In like 18 plus stream. Yes, but should I be concerned? But yes, it is. I've got a potty mouth.
You know what? It doesn't say it in your title. It usually does.
No, I got rid of it in there. I put it in the rules. Just wondering because it's my birthday today and I turned 18. Oh, hell yeah. Happy birthday. Happy
Guess I'll get
birthday.
my finger off the trigger.
Wait, I have something. Ta-da! Balloons! Happy birthday! But also, word to the wise, ignorance is bliss. So even if it was an 18 plus stream and you didn't say nothing, I wouldn't have known. But if you said something, you would have gotten banned.
Preferably banned like this. This is funny. Bam, bam, bam.
But no, I do appreciate the chicken. Are you doing anything fun for your birthday? Oh, speaking of, I have to pay my friend for her birthday. I forgot.
Good thing the birthday person came in here to remind you.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Sorry, I work third shift and I suck.
There you go. I do the same thing.
Game
Forget
night
birthday.
soon. Well, no, I didn't go to her birthday party. You met her. She came to mine.
You'll have to remind me who it was. What they look like.
Really tiny, skinny person, short hair.
Oh, okay. I remember them. They were little.
Yeah. Oi, fuck you. Oi, fuck you. Probably gonna go to the trails. Ooh. Am I allowed to ask? You don't have to answer. Whereabouts, like what state you live in?
Want me to do dress and drag and do the hula?
Wow. I'm muted.
Eat my buddy Pumper here because he has a treat. Coming down a dine on a Stacy's fine. All you have to do is get in line. Ah, you aching?
Yup.
For some bacon.
Yup.
He's a big pig.
Yup.
You can be a big pig too.
Sorry, I'm ordering food.
Back into the hunt to go.
At least we know it works now. Yeah. Told you I'd get to work eventually. Hold on. Sorry, I'm very hungry. Actually, maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. Debating on a Subway sub or something better for me.
Well, it's just about the time everything opens up. If it wasn't already.
Did I hear food? What kind of food we talking? Hi everyone. Hi Tara. How are you? How you doing? Virginia. What East Coast? I almost said West Coast, but I meant East Coast. East Coast. Hell yeah. I cruise the trails with my girlfriend. Ooh. Sorry. Sorry. How long have you guys been together? I was gonna make a really bad joke, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
You're the queen of bad jokes. You should have done it.
Well, I don't want to. They're new. I don't want to scare him off. He doesn't like going fast.
There's plenty of other things that could scare them off.
3 years? Hell fucking yeah. That's exciting. I'm excited for you. Well, no, No, I really don't think I should. I feel like it's very inappropriate. I almost did. All I'm saying is he's got a girlfriend and it's his birthday, so. Or her. I shouldn't assume that you're a guy. I'm sorry. My bad. Ooh, what is that? That looks delicious. Hold on. Sorry. Hey, I'm a guy. Okay. I figured as much, but I never want to assume. It's a chicken pesto panini. That looks actually fucking delicious, but I guarantee you when it gets here, it's just bread. All right, I know what we're doing. Going for chicken. Doing Chick-fil-A. Because they're not open on Sundays. And I found that out the hard way. And I was very upset about it. I ordered Subway one day and my Dasher ate half my sub. I would have seen red and someone would have died.
I'd have been fucking somebody up.
100%. That's crazy. It just smells so good. All right. All right. I'm just gonna do a sub because that's what I was gonna do before. And I do like my tuna subs. I know people don't like tuna fish, but I like tuna fish, so. American cheese. I don't want your provolone cheese. Give me American cheese. Free shavakadu. You want to know what's really good? If you haven't tried it, you should try it. You should put pepperoni on tuna.
What?
Yep. Pepperoni on your tuna sub.
I mean, fish and seafood and all that bothers my stomach anyway, but that just doesn't sound right.
You don't like tuna fish?
Nah.
Wheezy.
All kinds of seafood and fish and shellfish, all that. I think I'm allergic because it destroys my stomach, in not a fun way.
Wheezy.
Oh, no, we're talking about food. I remember Christmas Eve going to hibachi. Oh, that sounds so good right now.
I'm gonna try something and I'm probably gonna regret it, but we're gonna do it anyway. Fuck it.
Do it.
Putting something special on it. You emptied it. Why? Make room for the tuna. I appreciate you for that. But also because this one mentioned meatball subs, I'm gonna get a half a meatball sub for later.
See, you should put pepperoni on that.
No.
Yep.
Too much meat.
That's... Never mind.
So I took a pic and it went and sent it and they were like, oh, my bad for that. We gave you a $5. I would have been like, give me my fucking sub. I had someone run off with one of my orders once. And they were like, the restaurant doesn't know if they're going to make it again. And I was like, but I'm hungry.
Right? What are they gonna do if I just reorder it? Like, they're gonna be mad either way.
Yeah.
That happened to me one time. But then I got mad and I just made food. I was like, alright, I wasn't supposed to order out today.
I tried desperately not to. Sorry. I try not to shop when I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the #1 rule shopping.
To be honest, I don't think I'm doing this right.
I mean, I say that every day when I wake up an adult. So, you know, there's that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It is village.
No idea what those things are, pal. Approach with caution.
Doesn't matter, he's dead. Didn't stand a chance. So there's zombies in this? That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I am the Moonstone. It literally sounds like I'm playing fucking Black Ops zombies.
Guess Jace went to bed?
Or he'll pop up randomly. Normally he says when he goes to bed.
Probably not. True. Maybe he's sleeping in his seat.
Oh, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
What kind of dumbass shit is that?
One that brought you on a hiding. What kind
I was
of?
doing my dishes after making food, bitch.
Ooh, what'd you make for food?
Nachos.
Ooh.
Ooh. So good.
The way you said that was bougie. Nachos.
Nachos.
Nacho. Know why? Because it's nacho cheese. Rest of us scrubs are ordering fucking subs.
It's
Hate crime.
nacho food.
Well, Jace is gonna help cook. Well, I volunteered him, but I'm pretty sure he said he would. At
I'm pretty sure I
LockyCon.
said I would before
I'm
you volunteered me.
pretty sure you did too.
Voluntold.
I just
Voluntold.
was worried that maybe I was misremembering, and I was like, let me say it this way.
What is figure that out.
But for the most part, it's going to be pizza one day and then whatever the fuck I need to get for food the next day for us. Jesus. Sit down. I'm throwing funny, and I just can't hide it. Can't help myself. What's going on?
Wait, their bodies are strangely altered. I don't know what's going on, but keep those
Drugs.
doors open.
Drugs.
Don't sneak up on me like that. Played a lot of zombie games. Punk ass bitch. Cause it's not nice. Played a lot of zombie games. Conditioned to pay attention. That's a lie. That's a lie. What? You think there's someone worse than Dumbledore? Harry Potter? What is this? Temporarily imbues weapon. Ooh. Umbridge, yeah, Umbridge is terrible. Oh, that don't sound good. Open the door.
Wow. Okay. Not even gonna revive after that.
Uh-oh.
A little hanky after that.
I need a save point. Geronimo! Didn't expect that to work, but it did. Let's go, bitches! Time to die! Something's gonna sneak up behind me, I guarantee it. Calling it now. Big ass guy at the end has a fucking weapon. Bet she's got a really big health bar too. Okay. I got a feeling that I'm gonna need that. Oh, no, you have a regular health bar? Fuck yeah, bud. Big ass fucking dome. Somebody's mad. No. No. Hi. I'm gonna be honest, I thought your earbud died. And then I panicked, and then I muted, and then you hung up, and I was like, maybe it didn't die. I don't want to fight any of you guys anymore. I'm just gonna run through here. Shit. I didn't want to lose any of my stuff, so I have full health when I have to go over here. Also, I just realized that DoorDash twice.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice. Let's go, big guy. Want some fuck? Oh, I forgot you get full health back. I don't know why I thought you wouldn't. Suck on that, punk ass little bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I hear stuff come out of my mouth and then I realize why people might have been scared of me in high school. But I'm literally a giant teddy bear. Well, little teddy bear.
Maybe they were just bitches.
Oh, for sure, we're bitches. I did try to squall up with someone once. She didn't show. I didn't even want to fight her. I was just there. She wanted to fight me. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. What's the worst that can happen, right? So I showed up. She didn't show up. And I was like, what a little bitch. This was your idea. You're the one who hated me for no reason. I didn't do shit. I don't even know you. Bitch, I don't know you. Alright, let's do that. This is giving me Plague Tale vibes, which is a really good game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend. You have sinned. Repent with your tears. I don't want to go up here. Something big's up here. What the fuck is that? I like that this is playing by itself. That's not scary at all. Are you gonna eat me if I come over here? Do I need to be concerned? Alright, see, my impulse is telling me to go down that way, but I know that I have to go this way. There's a party here in Agrabah, and the party's just for me. Whee! Pocahontas. Pocahontas. Yeah, I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. Fuck it, we'll make a run for it. Oh no! Go back, go back! Little bitches. Okay, two things. One, my food is here. Two. Oh, I have to go that way. Oh, wait, no. Can I go this way? Oh, I think I just died. I just died. Help it. Well, you know, it's probably for the best, you know? Excuse me. La 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 la. La, 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 la. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. He's not lying. All right, let me do this over here. Do this over here. Well, what the damn hell?
What the damn hell?
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
God, hearing that brought back freaking Josh
Thank
memories.
you. I was gonna grab that. Absolute W housemate. Shakira. All right. She just get on? She did. Okay. All right. Pooper Noodle is on. If you don't know who that is, she is a absolute sweetheart. I've watched her for a little bit. She's got a cute little dog that sits in a little thing next to her thing. She's also playing a game in which I was looking at, so I'm interested to see. So I'm gonna send you guys over to her. It's a whole new community, so if you are here and you are available to unlurk yourself real quick to spam some emotes, I would greatly appreciate it. The first three are going to be for followers only. If you're subbed, you can use any of them. Pick your favorite emote and go spam them. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out and vibing with me and playing my game. I will be back on Thursday, early morning time. P is awesome. Yeah. Remember to take care of yourself, stay hydrated, get some sleep, eat something. You are absolutely incredible. You guys can do this. We've got this. I'm going to kick you guys over to her. She's playing a cute little rat mouse game, and I'm actually really interested to see what it is. But I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys continue to amaze me every single day. So, yeah, that's what it's called. That type of dog. I don't know how to say that. I'm not going to pronounce it. Stay incredible. Stay amazing. And if I don't catch you in the next couple days, kick ass. Bye. See you later. See you later. Don't forget to spam some emotes, please. I'm just a nobody right